Next, we have Phil Birdsell and then Phil Hamilton.
Just so you know, on her personally, it's different.
Elvis.
Now you got to
How's
pull that
everybody
thing
doing?
ring up there. There you go.
Long time no see, Phil.
This is, I will be singing tonight, but I guess I'm kind of like just sharing my song. I've been in Camarillo since 1989, and I love Camarillo. I moved to Camarillo because it was so much like my hometown back in Illinois. I grew up on the farm, and anyway, I live now in Country Lane. And I've been there, moved. We were one of the last houses that went in. My wife and I moved in 1998. And when we moved in, it was just, we loved the fact that it was, there were fields there, and the hospital was right there. And now it's kind of developed up, and with the high school coming in and the library, and it's really nice. And I'm thinking, like, why would you want to put a desalinization plant right in the middle of all that? And so that's why I'm here, because it upsets me to think that would be happening. There seems like there's more open territory someplace else that would be more beneficial and allow the city, the people in the city, to still have the benefits of desalinization, but then it wouldn't hurt property values, and it just seems like the wrong place to put it. And that's why I'm here tonight. So,
Great.
Do I have time to sing a song?
Sure. Okay. Go ahead. Go for it.
Song I wrote for Camarillo. Camarillo. Camarillo is a place I love to be. Camarillo, a place where I would share these songs with thee. Camarillo, how I love your fields of green, and the vista from your hilltops so serene. The people are so nice. Camarillo, you're my paradise, a place where I could love and learn and to play and sing. Thank you very much.
Very good.
I just want to keep it that way.
Very good. Okay, Phil, can you follow that? Oh, you can sing too?
I also don't dance. Phil Hamilton, I don't have too much to say tonight, but a month ago, I submitted a list of questions, and I just kind of wanted the status of those, and and I also wanted to comment that I know that you probably keep Lucy pretty busy with just a regular job, so I understand this is adjunct to that, so I'm patient with them, but it's been a month, and I just kind of wonder what the status of those questions is, if you happen to know.
Okay.
So if you do, you may respond. Otherwise, if
Okay.
you can get back to me, that would be great.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Because there's a list here for a stack for the Desalter. So we'll keep a track of the questions and we'll do it all at the end. How's that?
Okay, I submitted those in writing at,
Okay.
at one of my.
So
Thank you.
I'll put that on my list to find answers out for tonight. Thank you very much. The next person has been here a few times, and every time you come, Rita, now that you've been here a couple of times, we're on first name basis because I can never say your last name. It's beautiful, but I can't say it. And following Rita will be Hal Campbell.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rita Zhalibina, and I'm here just to follow up our discussion that we started back 2 meetings ago. And just to let you know that last time we heard that the city is cautiously optimistic about potential of finding any other spots away from our residences. We just want to say that we are actively waiting to hear what those sites might be, and we are hoping the city can make the right decision and in collaboration efforts with us and put these industrial projects away as far as possible from our residences. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
My name is Hal Campbell, and I'm one of the old farts here. In April, when we heard about the desalinization plant, Jan, you said you were open to coming to our meetings, and
Right.
It hasn't happened.
I agree.
What does it take for me to find out when you're going to make that presentation?
And that's on my list. I was going to ask staff. Staff was doing some work before we had the meeting because they wanted to have more details to give you. I will ask that question and see if we've got a date for you all.
I also understand that Mr. Fox was supposed to look at, quote, alternate sites without specifying what the alternate sites were. Are we any bit closer to defining those sites?
And I know staff is working on that. I think that's part of what they want to do before we meet, is to have the full picture to present. So they are working on it. I can promise you that. So
Again,
I hate to be invasive, but
fire, but when can we have a definitive date?
okay. I'll see if I can get that before we're done tonight, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Gavin Jones, and then Shannon Surf. Good.
Good evening. My name is Gavin Jones. I also live at Country Lane. I wanted to share with you an excerpt, a short one. I'll give you the entire thing if you wish, from the Environmental Health News in October 2011. Chlorine accidents take a big human toll. Over the past 10 years, there have been hundreds of accidents involving chlorine nationwide, injuring thousands. This is a short excerpt. Beverly Martinez was sitting at her desk in the office in California's scrap metal recycling plant when she felt a large blast rattle her window. One of her co-workers, Leonardo Morales Zavala, rushed through the door, struggling to breathe. "Run," he yelled. He had just cut into one of a 1-ton tank of recycling in the yard, about a football field away, and outpoured a noxious substance. He did not know what it was. The workers ran as fast as they could towards the street, but they couldn't escape the giant greenish-yellow cloud. A couple of dozen people, co-workers and customers, dropped to the ground gasping for air. Martinez fell too. I couldn't get up. I felt like I was being strangled. I thought I was going to die. I will never see my granddaughter grow up, Martinez said. Going further on, it goes on to say, in June that afternoon in 2010, 23 people were taken to the hospital, 6 of which were kept for treatment. 2 of them were put on life support. Over the last 10 years, chlorine has been involved in hundreds of accidents nationwide, injuring thousands of workers and townspeople and killing some, according to federal databases. It is only second to carbon monoxide when it comes to percentages of accidents that cause injuries, according to the newest federal data. 2015, Spokane, Washington, 8 injured in the industrial park chlorine gas leak from leaving critical and serious condition. Follow-up to that story on 17th of August 2015, one of those workers dies. As late as 2016, Atchison, Kansas, 100 people were treated after chlorine gas leak of sodium hypochlorite and sulfuric acid. These 2 chemicals will be kept on site. 5,900 gallons of sodium hypochlorite and 13,000 gallons of sulfuric acid. When they're combined, they produce chlorine gas, which I've already elaborated to. In Hawaii, there was a leak. No alarm was sounded. If our hospital is to be evacuated, where are they going to be evacuated to? This would be a Herculean effort involving Ventura County EMS as well as possible state agencies. It would involve every single hospital in the county and possible adjacent counties. And this doesn't even mention Alma Vista Nursing Home, as well as all of our homes. Prefer that if you can, please move this desalinization to a safer location, preferably upwind or downwind from us. And thank you for your time, and thank you for serving the city of Camarillo. We know at the end of the day that you all have our best wishes at heart. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. So that, I believe, is all the speaker sheets I have regarding...
Oh, one more.
Oh, I did? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm Shallon Surf, and I'm not very good at public speaking, so bear with me. We live in Country Lane as well. We bought the house 2 years ago, and my home is directly on the other side of the wall. It would be the closest to the plant, probably, of any of the homes. I'm raising 2 small children. I have to leave in 3 minutes to go get my daughter from church. But it really, I know it wasn't done to upset us, and it looked like a good site, but in thinking about it, I really hope that you take our wishes into consideration. I have asthma. My daughter has asthma. You know, I would consider moving if the plant is put in there. And it's going to take away from our home values. So, as he said, I know you have our best wishes in mind, and I'm hoping and praying that you guys can find an alternate site. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now that completes our speaker sheets having to do with the Desalter. So let me quickly, and you don't need to go into great detail, Mr. Fox, but do we have any idea when we'll be having a meeting? Can you just give us a guess?
Well, we certainly, no, I can't, and I'll tell you why. But we do understand that obviously the community wants answers, and the soonest we can give them answers, we will. But I think everybody's agreed that finding an alternative site is the #1 goal. That's the direction you've given to staff. And to find an alternative site, we're not in control of that destiny. We have to work with other agencies to work out an arrangement, strike a deal basically, to consider another site. And that's what we've been working on. And until we have an agreement with another agency, we don't have a definitive outcome to report. And I think if we have a meeting, that would be important information that this neighborhood would like to know is, have we found an alternative site? We have been working with the school board, the Oxnard Union High School board staff, to see if we can use the east end of their site. We've also talked to property owners and looked at other locations that don't look as likely that we would have an option, but the school district is willing to consider the optional site of moving to the very east end of their property. I believe they even have a meeting tonight to discuss that. Obviously, they will need direction from their board, and they may come back with other information they want from us, but we're in the throes of trying to work a deal that they can come to terms with. We hope, you know, that's why earlier I said we're cautiously optimistic that the staff seems supportive of our proposal, and hopefully we can make that come to fruition. If we hear good news tomorrow, then we can start arranging a meeting fairly soon. More likely what we'll hear is some questions back as they're trying to come to terms with the idea of a new location, and it may take a little while to work through that. But as soon as we have a definitive outcome, then we can arrange a meeting. Our hope is it's sometime later this month.
Later in May?
Correct. Okay. And then to also answer Mr. Hamilton, we'll check to see. I suspect the reason he hasn't received a response is we're still getting answers to some of the questions, but if we can maybe give him a partial response, at least on what we do know answers to, we'll try and get that out to him right away.
Okay. Okay. You heard that, Mr. Fox? Okay. Let's see, we talked about the other site, getting the questions answered, sending the meeting, so we're still working on it, and I assume you don't like having meetings just to have a meeting, so you obviously want something to talk about, so it's better that we wait. Last meeting, we had a gentleman who presented a lot of information having to do with reusing the, on the corner, the old LA workout site, and I would like to, when you are looking at it, to hear from staff, and not right now, but I would like that to be in the queue of at least giving us an update on a feasibility of that site.
Yes.
Okay. And anything from council? Okay. Thank you all for coming on that issue. We have